Oh yes, legends, how's everybody doing? Make sure to destroy that like button on your way in. We're going to be taking a look at the price of Bitcoin, of course, Ethereum most importantly. Also, guys, which there are some scenarios that can give us a trading opportunity that will be mentioned today on the live stream, guys. Destroy the like button. And today is a very important day, of course. How is everyone doing, legends? Let's go through the comment section, say hello to the beautiful community. As always, see what's going on. We love you. I love you too. Let's go right away through the comment section before we go through the price of Bitcoin, guys. Let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Maybe volume's too low. Let me know if everything's okay, guys. Let's go. Ooh, Bitcoin. It's gonna be interesting, guys. I'm going live, 30 minutes before the interest rate decision. We do know it's very likely going to be 25 basis points, but it can be a surprise. It can be more, it can be nothing. Who knows, right? But very likely is going to be 25 basis points. So is it priced in already? Are we going to get a gigantic pump, a gigantic dump? Make sure to get your votes in here on the poll. We do have here the FOMC press conference. I'm very unlikely gonna be going through this, guys. I know some other people do it. They just leave it there. We listen to it. I'll probably end the stream while he goes on, and we'll crash some other channels later on, okay? But we have to talk about the different local scenarios, okay? We talked about a few scenarios on the higher time frame, but I think we need to talk about this. And we need to talk about the levels that we have to the upside and to the downside. That's it. If anybody wants to snipe a trade, because I strongly believe that it's unlikely that we get a massive pump of, give or take $5,000-$6,000. I think this is unlikely. Okay? It's unlikely. You tell me what you think, right? There's a lot of people bullish. There's a lot of people bearish. I'm liking this range to create the volatility and an overall roll down, guys. I'm leaning in that camp, right? When I'm bearish, you can feel it, right? When I'm feeling a little bit locally bearish, you can feel it. But eventually we are uptrending, guys. We cannot deny that. There is lots of liquidity to the upside, and there's a lot of liquidity to the downside from this range that we formed in the last few days. So today, we might do some sniper trading, guys. We're going to get some levels before the interest rates and maybe get something ready for when we have the FOMC press conference, right? Which is just 30 minutes after the interest rates decision. We're going to talk about some local scenarios today. Forget about all of, what could happen here, right? We want to focus here, guys, because this is where we're going to get the volatility. You either make it or you get stopped out, guys. We either make money, right, today with the volatility, or we get stopped out, we get burned. Let's give it a shot, guys, because there are some levels and some scenarios that look very interesting. And especially considering, we do have lots of liquidity up, guys. We cannot deny that. On both sides, down and up. Right, and we are literally in the middle of this range. Let's go to the 1 hourly time frame, guys. Let's get some action today, because I'm a boring old fart that likes to take a look at the higher time frame, a little bit of Elliott wave theory, some levels and some different scenarios. But today we're going to get some action, guys. Today we're going to get some action, and we can sweep liquidity on both sides, right? We can sweep, we can take out the highs, and we can take out the lows. And I think when you are in the middle of a range inside of a value area, we haven't quite broken the point of control. We're kind of, just basically in the zone. There's no proper breakdown here. Finding support. When you're in the middle of the range, the lows throughout Monday of the weekend were tested on Monday, right? We did sweep the lows. We did sweep the highs throughout yesterday, right? Throughout early this morning, sorry, my bad. Getting a little bit of pumper action here, all right? We're getting a bit of pumperado at the moment on the lower time frame. We're getting a nice little squeeze here to the upside. Woo. Volatility is already starting to kick in a little bit before the news, guys. It is going to be an exciting one. We need to get some stuff ready, right? How the heck would we trade the news? I'm really against trading the news, guys, but I'm feeling excited today. And I'm feeling excited because I got some beautiful people watching the stream, of course, smashing up that like button. Oh, this is not it. This is the Font press conference. Anyway, let's go through the comment section. Let's be respectful for the people that are here on this live stream today. And then let's get the levels and the possible scenarios, okay? We're going to combine Elliott wave theory in this range with some important levels that we have up and down. And you know, if you're feeling like you want to get your sniper out and go bang, bang, you know, I'm going to short here, smack. I'm going to long here, smack it in, right? With good risk management, of course, guys. Don't go all in. Today's not the greatest day to go all in, right? Because, you know, the probabilities for me is we are not going to fly sustainably. Who knows? It might happen. And we're not going to dump here like $5,000. I don't think this would be the scenario, at least in the short term. What has higher probability is like sweep highs, sweep lows. If we sweep the lows first, we're probably going to sweep the highs later. And if we sweep the highs, then we sweep the lows. This kind of scenario, right? So we want to get ready. Hopefully the price is not going to do much now in the next couple of minutes. We are getting a bit of a pump at the moment. But yeah, we're going to get some stuff ready, guys. There is time. We got 20 minutes before the cuts. And maybe we do get some volatility through the cuts. But I think the volatility is going to happen mainly when we do have the press conference, okay? So yeah, we'll go through the comment section right away. We'll get some stuff ready, guys. Hang on a minute. Let's go through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. If people expect a dump, then expect a pump. If people expect a pump, then maybe expect a dump, right? I do see a little bit of both sides, guys. There's a lot of people bullish and bearish, right? Just in the votes of today. I should have put pump and dump as well, or dump and pump on the answers here. Today we pump. We are getting more, 60% of people say we pump, right? We are pumping already. I don't like the scenario that we pump into the interest rate cut, guys. It's just not nice, right? Preferably we would dump now and then say, okay, we're going to pump. Anyway, 60% of people, right, out of the votes say that we are pumping today, that we are going to get, the main direction would be pump, right? Regardless if we get a bit of volatility, pump and dump. I think the overall direction here of the people is saying a pump. So it's not a rate hike of Powell keeps good talk, we pump. Yeah, also, depending if he's hawkish or dovish, right, when we have the press conference, we will see, I think, mainly the main move when he comes out, right? Good afternoon. And that's where we get the volatility. So, yeah, rates unchanged, dump it. Who to believe, you or CME? What kind of question is that? Take a look at 𝗖𝗍𝗍. Yeah, we're not going to take a look at altcoins right now, guys, when we're going to get the volatility, and we need to get some scenarios ready. 500 likes today. If we get to 500 likes, we'll do a $500 giveaway, guys, okay? So let's just do a count of the like button, and we'll do a $500 giveaway, guys, straight off with the news, right? 500 likes, we're going to do $500 giveaway. I'll make someone a moderator, and we'll just give $500, guys. You send me the wallet, USDT, 𝗖𝗍𝗇20, and we just do the giveaway, okay? Let's see. Today is possible because today, I expect views to be a little bit more spiky as it is a major event. Everybody's going to be going live. I know that, right? You got all of your favorite crypto YouTuber going live today. Even the Forex guy or the institutional guy or whoever, right, is going live today. Everybody's going live. Even the random, vlog pizza channel is going live because of interest rates, right? So yeah, everybody likes to go live today. So we just hop into the bandwagon. But anyway, let's take a look at the comment section, and we're going to get some stuff ready, guys. Today's a kind of a sniper trade day, right? Let's give it a shot. Risk 0.5% of capital, right? A little punch on the volatility and see if we get the directional bias, correct, right? We'll be talking about a few scenarios. Long BTC to 120K, says 𝗞𝗍𝗍. Maybe. I mean, this is not the great level, right? In the middle of the range. This is kind of not the greatest zone. I mean, you can count this as a impulsive move. This a correction, yes. Maybe we do get that stretched leg to the upside. It is a scenario. Why not? Nice little move here after sweeping the lows. Quite impulsive. We got high volume in the middle. That's what we want to see. Nice high volume in the middle. Okay, you got your 1 and 2, your 3, your 4 and 5. Can this be a correction? Bang, and then we explode. Maybe. We got a few scenarios ready here, guys, in this local range, which are going to be very, very interesting. Of course, we need to talk about the most important levels of resistance and support. We do have naked point of control. There's a weekly naked point of control and the point of control of the range, which is at $118,000. That is, of course, sweeping that lower high. This is such a classic lower high for a swing failure pattern, guys. You know the deal. It's such a classic level, right? A major higher time frame pivot, right? Which is that 117.3, 117.4, right? Depending on what exchange. You have a bunch of liquidity up here. And if you come up to claim that liquidity to the upside, first of all, right, above $117,000, you might hit 118K plus, right? That is where we come into the major levels of resistance, right? Basically, it's the big high volume node. You must have seen this, you know, backwards, forwards on everybody's channel potentially by now. So that's where you have the high cluster volume right over here, around about 118K. You got a weekly naked point of control from this consolidation right over here. So it's a big zone. After sweeping this lower high, I'm kind of interested in a short to come and sweep the lows. If we sweep the lows first, then eventually I'm kind of interested in looking for a bounce here. This is a bit of a risky sniper trade because you could break through and follow through, or the same to the downside, right? We've got two major events, the interest rate cut and the FOMC press conference, right? Economic projections with the press conference followed by that. So yeah, just looking at the levels, the scenarios, liquidity here, weekly naked point of control above 117.3, which is sitting at 117.7. It's a weekly naked point of control from this week right over here, with the point of control not too far off from it, right? With the range point of control, right? Just a few $100s above us. And a lot of liquidity, lots of stops to be fetched in this zone. We do have a lot of liquidity right over here, which we also have a weekly naked point of control, which is literally from the price action of last week, right? When we do get this price action, we've got a high volume node in this region at 114.2K, which is basically the lows of the range. So yeah, it's going to be looking good. We'll be building up the scenarios right now. We got 12 minutes. Yeah, I just went forward here with the levels and the scenarios, but let's see if we do have 10 minutes. I'll explain a few Elliott wave scenarios that could develop here based on hitting the levels of resistance and support. It's a risky day, okay? Stay cautious, maintain risk. Let's say hello to the rest of the people here that have joined. It used to be a lot. It's about 3%. Not sure what you're talking about at 6,000. Short on 118K, right? Lots of people saying, you know, if we do hit the highs, we want to short. How about XRP? Yeah, XRP we can do later on. Okay, let's maintain with the king of crypto, which is BTC. SFP would be juicy, says Meme Cat. Absolutely. Easter drop today. Easter drop today. Andy, please show us 1 month time frame where we going via long positions straight right now. On the monthly time frame, on long positions right now, you look, there's high probability that we do hit all-time high at some point. Some people were saying that we're in a bear market already. Don't understand why, but yeah, this movement down, very corrective. There's no sort of impulse to be looked at in this region. You can't have an expanding diagonal. Okay, your wave 3 is shorter than your wave 5 is shorter than your wave 3. You're looking at some kind of a zigzaggy structure here, either double zigzag, okay, or an ABC. We've been talking about this for the last few weeks. This is one scenario, which is a WXY. Can be counted on the lower time frames, you know, very easily. And then we have the ABC, which is also very much a possibility. So the ABC eventually brings us the possibility of a larger WXY. If we do hit to higher levels, then more a sideways WXY. There is the chance of this being some kind of an impulse, okay, because we are respecting here. This is the largest move up for the moment, right? And this could be a wave 4. You could form a flat here, then claim the highs. Okay, so I like the idea of sweeping up the lows Because if this is going to be an impulse like this, as I have with a drawing, and this is a flat sweeping up the lows and maintaining, this would be the low of what your wave 2 here, by the way, right? You have a sideways WXY. If you do come down to the 382 50% Fibonacci, this is the zone where it needs to bounce, basically, without touching the golden pocket, which is very close to the pivot high of your wave 1. So you don't really want to hit that level. If you do hit that level, this would be the moment that I'm thinking, right, we're very, very likely either going to come down to this pivot low in the near future, right? Or we actually form a W, X, and then a Y, one more leg up, and then potentially we come down. Because you could form a WXY to form your X wave here. This is your wave W, so it could extend for another week or so. So you could claim the highs technically again, right? As a wave X is very, very complex. But we ain't going to go too much into detail, guys. We know Elliott wave theory can get people a little bit like, you know, screw Elliott wave theory. Let's talk about the levels. Let's sniper trade, right? Some levels. And yeah, let's get some stuff ready. So more locally, as explained, you know, we do have this scenario right over here. Oh my goodness, we've got 8 minutes here to provide a few of the scenarios. This scenario right over here, right? Very, very possible. Very, very possible that we could be forming an ABC flat, right? You have your wave 1 right over here, your corrective structure in a WXY, your wave 3, and now lows, highs. There is a 3-wave flat here, okay? And then a 3-wave move to the upside, and potentially you do form that pretty aggressive move down now as we do get the news to sweep up that low. We got that naked point of control, which is exactly beneath this pivot, guys, okay? So reactional bounce at that level where we do have a naked point of control is an option. Point of control of the range is in the middle. We can get this off the chart. We don't need that. Very, very much possible. Weekly naked point of control from last week, sitting at 114.2, which is where we have the 382 Fibonacci. 50% possibly hit at 113.7. This could be the zone where it actually just sweeps the low, gets acceptance, and we just get that massive rally again to the highs, guys. So this is going to be an interesting area to maybe get into a long if we do get that reaction, okay? Stop loss, golden pocket. If you do hit the golden pocket, you're no longer looking at this to be an impulse, okay? Let's keep it simple. This would be your invalidation. So it would still be a 3-4 to 1 risk to reward, right? Depending on your entry, right? You still got a pretty good stack here. That's if we do create a dump and pump. Maybe today's the day to do that, guys. Today is the day to do that. So that's maybe a scenario. We can probably get into a sniper trade, like get the lows, claim that liquidity, and then claim the liquidity to the upside. What if we do go up first? What other scenarios do we have? This is where we need to go to the 1 hourly time frame. And oh man, just because we have a flat here, just because we have a zigzag down, you got a flat movement here in your wave B, right? And then a movement down pretty sharp to form your wave C. Eventually, you know, this looks like an impulse, but it's part of a flat. So you have an ABC flat here. If you do have a flat after a rally, you can either say it's an ABC and you move higher to claim the highs, right? For a 5-wave, for example, or it's still part of a larger corrective structure, right? What if this is your wave W right over here and this is your wave X right over here? That would be interesting, because what could happen now is you form a Y wave, right? And there's 2 Y waves that you could form here. I mean, you could form a zigzag down pretty sharp as well, because you literally have a flat here, okay? So if you have a flat in W, you can form a sharp zigzag down. Regardless if this is a larger ABC flat or a WXY and you form a sharp zigzag down to sweep up the lows, this zone becomes very interesting for the reaction and get a bounce. Okay, so regardless of whatever happens, right, this could be a zigzag down. it could be also a flat. If you move up from here, you can sweep up the highs and then sweep up the lows. And then you form your Y wave. So all of the different Elliott wave scenarios here kind of come in confluence with the liquidity grab zone, right? Regardless if this is an ABC flat, okay, this could be interesting for a long. If you sweep up the highs first, there is a potential here for a flat in your wave Y, right? Which would be coming down to literally, you know, the 1.618, most commonly the expansive ABC flat, right? And sweep up the lows. Literally 2-to-1 is also acceptable for an expanding flat. So it becomes kind of nice, right? That this could be a scenario. Get a pump, sweep the highs, then sweep the lows. If you form an ABC flat or a WXY where you're already forming a zigzag down here, you got a flat, zigzag up in X, and another zigzag down, sweep up the lows. Still looking for that movement up based on the bullish case scenario, which would be this one right over here, which you have an impulsive move up, right? Where do I have that folder? This one right over here. Regardless if it's a, you know, a flat or an ABC flat or a WXY, okay, sideways, you know, combination here. Both of the scenarios, you know, for all of the scenarios, it becomes quite interesting to sweep the highs, then the lows, or sweep the lows and then the highs, right? So I'll tell you what. If this is going to be an ABC flat, you don't want to extend much higher than the 12361382, right? You really want to top out. Let's reverse this. And you're kind of missing the $118,000, preferably if you want all of this to be a flat, right? Without hitting the 1.618, preferably, because then that won't be an ABC flat, you know, potentially. Well, it still would be okay for the zigzag down, zigzag up, and the flat here. I mean, yeah, let's count here the B wave, right? If this were to be the low, yeah, I mean, this is perfect. I mean, the 1236, 1382, if you were to form a flat here, okay, in a WXY where this is your W, this is your X, and this is your Y, form an aggressive, you know, pump and dump kind of scenario. 1236, 1382 with the range point of control. It's kind of the perfect scenario when we count Elliott wave theory as well with the levels of confluence. So yeah, in a nutshell here, easy peasy. You know, the main strategy here would be get a rejection, stop loss at the high, take a bit of room, possible entry zone on the rejection, and try to, you know, nuke down to the lows to claim that liquidity. On the other side, well, what we could look for is just sweep the low, guys, and then eventually, you know, look for the rally back up again. And this would be perfect for the bullish case, which would be that just a regular impulsive move, right? When we consider this, just a regular impulsive move. You got your wave 1, sideways WXY, your wave 3, it's the largest move up with the highest amount of volume. And now you have this complex sideways corrective move to finish fourth wave. It is crucial that we do not hit 113.6K for this scenario. We are going to be bullish 112.8K, right? Is it that zone? Anyway, we've got the interest rate decision right now, guys. Pay attention. Let's see if we sweep up the lows first or sweep up the highs. It might blast off, guys, if we don't get any rejection. Maintain risk here because the volatility is going to be interesting. We're getting, yeah, 4.5. So that is literally as expected, right? So it's come down 25 basis points, very much expected. Not much happening right now at the moment. Let's take a look at the stock market. Stock market's getting a little bit of a pumpy action with the cuts. Oh, let's go Bitcoin. Let's see, guys, what's going on. Local trade setup here for today, guys. I mean, it would be the most obvious one, right? Either sweep the lows or sweep the highs. If you follow through, you just don't want to be interested in getting into the long here. If you follow through from here, you just don't want to get into the short, right? You need that reaction. A little bit of boring volatility at the moment. I was expecting a little bit more of a bigger move, guys, if I'm honest. Little pump and dump here. Not much going on. I see the S&P 500. Yeah, a little bit of a move. I was expecting a little bit more. Obviously, it was expected that it was going to be 25 basis point, but I think when we have the FOMC, guys, I'm just going to do the first 10 minutes, and I'm not going to be listening and see what he's going to talk about, guys, okay? There's other channels doing that. I'm interested in looking at the charts to see if, we get that volatility and we get out of this range, right? We're in the middle of the range, basically. Point of control, doing the job here of this area. Yeah, kind of a fake out to the downside. Value area high, providing a bit of resistance here. We did get supported early this morning from value area high. Now it's getting a bit of resistance. Not much going on, guys. I think we're hyping up too much this whole thing of FOMC and rate cuts, guys. Imagine that we just get this internal volatility and price stays stuck here. And then on FOMC, we get a bit of local volatility and price gets stuck here. That would be a little bit surprising. I think people are overhyping this event, guys. But anyway, let's go right away through the comment section, see what's going on with the legends. Who's in here? Bestie Rogan, always pumped before starting the SHT. Yes, sir, maybe. Dump 98K, send it to 135. Well, this would be the general scenario. Nothing much here going on, guys, with the rate cut. I mean, it's obviously priced in, right? It's obviously priced in 95% that it was going to be 25 basis points. So just a little bit of local volatility. FOMC could be interesting, right? Let's see the press conference, see what's going on. What is expected for the rest of the year? Are there going to be more rate cuts? Is he going to be not cutting rates? Maybe, guys. Maybe. Anyway, overall, that scenario that somebody was saying about claiming 96K in the comment section, it is still very much a valid scenario when we do consider the general idea that I prefer, guys, right? The general idea that I prefer that's been mentioned throughout the last few days is we have formed a contracting diagonal to the upside. A big explosive move in just 3-4 months, guys. We've been from 75K just 4 months ago, right? Let's say 5 because this was the beginning of April. In 5 months, Bitcoin pumped from 75K to 125K almost, 124, almost $50,000, a 65% pump. And we do have a pretty nice 5-wave structure to the upside when we get that contracting diagonal, right? There is a large 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's a 5-wave move up. There's a nice correction throughout August, right? And little recovery in September. Yeah, this movement, there is ways of counting it bullish. Multiple 1, 2 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'd still need the 5th wave to kick in. We get a retracement, very choppy, very overlappy throughout the next 1 to 2 weeks. Oh, it might look interesting. It might look interesting if we're going to start dancing around here in the next, 1 to 2 weeks for this correction. This might be it, guys. This might be it. If we create one more wave up and we get this choppiness here, right? Lots of overlap. This is going to be like, guys, this is bullish. We're probably going to look for the wave up here to hit all-time high, but we would need that information later on throughout the next 1 to 2 weeks. But for this to fly from here in a V-shaped recovery, I think regardless, we are looking for a pullback. Regardless if the WXY, right, which would be this scenario right over here, not that one, that would be part of the X wave if it is going to extend. There's this scenario right over here. Someone saying that we get to 96K, which is sweeping this low. I don't know, man. I mean, I do see getting below 107K, and then we'll see. We'll see how the low 100k levels do react, because we do have the point of control of this zone also, you know, that can provide the support. I like this scenario. I have to be honest, I do like it. It's you know, for me, it's my preferred scenario. We do not successfully get above 119k. We get a choppy action. But regardless, if it is this, or if it is going to be an impulse, because we are uptrending, we need to give the bulls, you know, the chance right now. They broke the momentum to the downside. Momentum is up. The momentum is up. And in this momentum, even though I prefer that it does look like more as a 3-wave move, there are ways of counting this as an impulse, right? We cannot deny that. There's a few scenarios, right? Multiple 1-2 doesn't look too sexy, because your second one is much larger. Well, just a little bit longer than your first wave 1 and 2. You never prefer that. So I'm not giving that much probabilities on that scenario. But a wave 1, 2, 3, here you form a WXY or a flat, and then you take out the highs after sweeping the lows is an interesting scenario. So regardless if this does happen, you would expect this fifth wave to top out, right? 118k, 119k, and then eventually you're looking for a possible pullback, which we'll just have to lean on how we correct here. If it is going to be choppy, overlappy, then it's like, if we move like this after the correction, we will understand that this is bullish. This is quite bullish. This does not look bearish. If you create that one more spike to the upside after sweeping the lows, this would look very much like a 5-wave impulse. If we claim lows and then claim highs, right? This is why longing the lows or shorting the highs based on the reaction is a possible option here to get into a trade. So we will see. Let's get those levels, sweep those levels. Eventually, there is a way of counting this as a finished correction, either in an ABC or a WXY. It doesn't really matter. Eventually, if it is a WXY, then you would say that this is a finished structure. But you know what I think about that, guys. And we've been talking about this for many weeks right now, even when we started the correction, that I would expect this corrective move to extend a little bit more. Regardless if you move from here to the lows below 107k, or you pump a little bit and then you go sideways in a triangle potentially, or forming a larger WXY, or you form a flat here later on. It's going to extend, in my opinion, without hitting all-time high, at least for the moment. I don't see all-time high happening this week or next week. It's just not ready for it. A larger correction, a larger range is the highest probability based on timing right now, right? We're not even considering the waves or anything. It's based on the massive rally that we had in 5 months that hasn't cooled off, right? It hasn't had a proper cool off. Right? People want V-shaped recovery, interest rate cuts. We go to the moon straight away in a V-shape. Well, the charts don't quite move like that, right? And this rally, I have to say, yeah, it's uptrending, but it's not too convincing for a multiple 1-2. And the only scenario that has the highest probability for the moment would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you sweep the lows and then the highs, okay, we would give this the chance of an impulse, and then we'll check the correction later on, right? So yeah, it's looking interesting, legends. It's looking very, very good. Looking interesting. Wow, not much volatility overall, huh? In the middle of the range still, pump and dump, but like on the spot, guys. This is basically, yeah, depending on what exchange you're trading on here, you probably can't, you need to be careful with the fees here. There's not much of a movement happening. So let me know if you are actively trading any of this local volatility, which is very, very small. But yeah, maybe later on the FOMC press conference, we're going to get a little bit of volatility. Let's smash up that like button, get to 500 likes, because I am ready to give $500, guys. Ready for it. Make sure to destroy the like button right away. And yeah, let's see if we do get to 500 likes. We'll just do a $500 giveaway right away, guys. Free money for someone here, right? Lame reaction, absolute flop. Yes, I know, guys. Wait press conference. Yeah, I think the FUMP press conference is I'm shorting everything easy. You know, when I do take a look, a little bit of pump and dump, local volatility as well on the S&P, but nothing too serious. The dollar index is going to be looking interesting also. It's actually testing these lows from July. So a double bottom here, very much a possibility. If we do get a double bottom on the dollar index, well, you know, with that rally, then eventually, I mean, there hasn't been too much correlation lately with dollar index and Bitcoin, to be honest. Well, it is going down. Bitcoin has been going up. But if the dollar index decides to create a double bottom here, that could give a little bit of a power, right, to dump Bitcoin. Let's go right away through a BNB, guys. BNB has been an absolute beast. What the heck, guys? What the heck? I remember when I bought BNB when it was at about $15. This was back in 2019 or so. You know, it was my second year in crypto. And yeah, I remember being at, you know, in this zone. I'm like, yeah, screw this. Holy crap. My goodness. I remember very much this zone. I got in crypto in 2018 and BNB, I remember having it at 15. I remember had to get some BNB for fees. And holy smokes, this is going through the roof, right? What is interesting is seeing BNB, guys. The bull market has happened. Let's be honest. You know, 99% of the cryptos haven't done much. SUI has done great. BNB has done great. XRP has done pretty well. Link has done okay. Ethereum's hit all-time high. We all want that extension, right? We want all that extension. We all want that money flow, right? You know, everybody's talking about this. You know that, guys. You know about this. You know about this. It's time to get the money flow because Ethereum's hit all-time high already. It's time for the large caps. We have seen some large caps popping. You know, and then altcoin season. Holy smokes, guys. When we do take a look at some altcoins like BNB, it's like, yeah, the bull market, the crypto cycle has kind of happened here. I mean, we formed a higher low on BNB. So this is a higher low. This is a big extension right there. And now you have this, it feels like the last extension. I don't see BNB going to $2,000, guys. What do you think? I mean, this has had an epic rally of 400% as well in the last 2-3 years. I mean, not as much as Bitcoin, but still pretty damn good, right? I don't know. Let me know what you think, legends. I'm very, very skeptical about the huge amount of bullishness that there is right now. Okay. A lot of people talking about Q4, and Q4 has to be the most profitable, you know, biggest, you know, Q4 ever, especially post-halving in the 4-year cycle theory. You know, Q4 becomes an absolute beast. October is usually very bullish, but we might get surprised. We thought September was going to be bearish. It ended up green. Look at October. Uptober, they say. Uptober, guys. What do you think about that? Let me know down below in the comments. Trade safe, legends. I prefer to stay out of this mess. We talked about 𝗬𝗍𝗆. Much love to you guys. Much love to you, 𝗬𝗍𝗆. Okay, guys, check out 𝗬𝗍𝗆's channel. He's absolutely awesome with education. He's an absolute beast. Okay, he's also a coach in the Legends Pro community. An absolute beast with education and possible scenarios, levels, possible setups that we're looking at. Much love to you, 𝗬𝗍𝗆. Staffer1 here, giving love and support. Staffer1 needs to be a moderator by now. Let me just get Staffer1 a moderator right away. I don't know why you're not a moderator already. There you go. Staffer1 moderator. He always giving love and power. We're getting a little bit of a dumpy action right now. Yo, Andy's the best. Dakota, much love to you. The best performer after BTC all time. KL Paradox, much love. Going down. We are going down. We had a little bit spike down. I need to talk about a few of my trades, guys, because, you know, I've been in a short. In a loss. It is actually in a loss. Hedging, though, I hope that Ethereum, we need to talk about Ethereum because I'm actually still in a good Ethereum short position from the all-time high. And we need to talk about Ethereum. We need to talk about it because there are some possible trading setups on Ethereum. But yeah, I entered a short, stop loss very far away, but I'm hedging against this short position. And there will be moments to add to the short later on safely, okay? I'm not worried about this scenario. But yeah, I got a bit into a cheeky short that has been in a loss, but I'm also hedging, right, that short position. So I'm kind of a little bit protected here with this scenario till we actually get a sign of weakness, or we might get an SFP, and that might be an option of you know, maybe adding to that position. It's an option. I do have weeks, of course, with a day trading account that I've got a little bit abandoned, but we will probably get some. As mentioned, I would be happy today to look for the reaction at this lower high with that weekly naked point of control, which is with the point of control of the range as well. It's going to be an interesting level to short because it can be a liquidity grab or even long, guys. We are uptrending. And the trend is your friend, as they say. Sweeping up this low is going to be an option to take the long. If we get the bounce, we get above it, it could be an attempt, guys. You know, you either lose it or you don't, or you find support. So the risk to reward is nice. It is enough to take the chance. No need to bet the farm here, guys. You know, bet a few $1,000s. Yeah, maybe it could be a good option. You know, make 5 grand, 10 grand, maybe. Could be an option. Let's see. We are getting a little bit of dumperado here at the moment. A little bit of dumping pump, swept the local lows. Probably just sitting at the value area low. I'm kind of not interested inside of the range, guys. Inside of the range. We need to get out of the range. Because what we like of getting out of the range is testing the lows of the range. Testing the lows of the range, getting a bounce, testing the highs of the range, getting a rejection, right? So this is the zones of interest, either for a successful breakout or a failed breakout, right? And that's where you can take the decision with good risk management based on the reaction, guys. If you are interested in trading, we've got some interesting bonuses, guys. Bluffin has 10% cash back on your initial deposit. You get VIP 1 or VIP 2 depending on what you deposit, and you also, for the first time depositors, guys, you got a chance here to win an Omega, okay? Depending on your deposit, you need to deposit 10K and move some interesting volume, and you can get an Apple Vision Pro Omega Global Master. You know, this you are eligible for all of this once you sign up with the link down below, guys. And not only that, if you sign up to Bluffin or Weeks, you can get access to the VIP. This is where I'm sharing my trades. I'm sharing my journey basically on the swing setups, right? And yeah, you basically get access to that if you sign up to Bluffin or Weeks, guys, to get into the VIP. Send me a message right away from the first link, guys, if you're interested in just me sharing the trading setups. I share my P&Ls. It's been a bumpy week. Hasn't been too easy. But overall, you know, I do share, obviously, the track record in what I'm doing, guys, throughout the last few months. So if you're interested in that, just to know where I'm positioned, no financial advice. I'm just sharing what I am doing, guys. We also have Dylan there providing some epic altcoin setups. He's the altcoin master. He always looks for altcoins. He's been successfully, you know, long in Avalanche XRP last week, which you also get in the VIP. The pro community is where you get more education, much more information. VIP is just a few setups that we look at, okay? But pro community is where you get more stuff eventually. Anyway, let's go right away through Ethereum, guys. We need to talk about Ethereum because Ethereum, you know what I've thought about Ethereum. And there is a little bit of a triangle-y structure here that we are forming. We cannot deny that. We formed a bit of a triangle here. I've been very much in favor of Ethereum coming down below $4,000. This is why I remain still in that short, which, I mean, if we were to come down below $4,000, guys, I would be making some pretty good, interesting gains. because I am giving the chance of a larger correction. I am giving a chance to sweep up the lows. I got a good entry, almost got stopped out with this movement up. We talked about this scenario getting rejected a few days ago. There is a chance of rejecting here, faking out the value area high, okay, hitting the 7/8 Fibonacci golden pocket zone from all-time highs at the pivot low. It's a possibility to form a lower high here and get this rejection. I mean, we did reject, what is it, over 5%, 6%. You know, you never want to, you know, a lot of people don't want to short here, right? It's kind of, you're pumping, but this is the classic zone for a fake out above value area high. You hitting the golden pocket and the 7/8. We talked about this a few days ago, guys. You know, I will talk about the possible scenarios. You take your decision with good risk management. The main reason we talked about the possibility of this, but right now we are forming a triangle. We cannot deny that. I mean, this could be a running triangle, A, B, C, D, E. Yeah. You know, and then we get the pump, right? I mean, if you want to position yourself here, this is hitting right now the golden pocket from this pivot low zone to the pivot high. Golden pocket 7/8 is usually where you get the bounces on a triangle formation. What am I doing here? I want to put the full Fibonacci levels. Golden pocket 7/8. Golden pocket 7/8 in a triangle is where you usually get the bounces, right? The main reason we talked about the possibility of Ethereum forming a lower high here and getting a movement down is because there was a way of counting a contracting diagonal here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this being an ABC movement. And eventually this would be your A wave right there in a 5-wave structure, your B wave, and then your C wave down, right? To come to this order block, and this would be the zone of, yeah, let's all get long here and make a huge amount of money in the next few weeks, right? That would be the ideal scenario. But we are consolidating here on Ethereum, forming this triangle in an uptrend, and a triangle in an uptrend, you want to hold literally the 61878 zone from the pivot low to the pivot high. So I mean, if anybody wants to take that shot, Funk is going to be the press conference is going to be bullish. I don't care. I'm so bullish that smoke's coming out of my ears, and I'm not bearish. I'm in denial for the bearish case, and I just want to go long. Well, I mean, your invalidation here for Ethereum would be the low. I believe that if Ethereum takes out this low, it's going to take out this low, and it's probably going to dump slightly lower, below $4,000. You know, if you want to trade the triangle to all-time high, this is literally, I mean, it is a legit pattern. You just need to take the risk. If you take out this low, you do not want to be in that long position anymore. You just don't, because you're likely going to take out this low and actually come down to this order block on the higher time frame. You know, it's going to get that ABC. So, hey, you want to, you know, you do have a pattern. A triangle is very much valid for a wave 4. So, you know, why not? Why not? You know, manage risk. Could this be the E wave? I mean, absolutely. We've got that information. It is a triangle, A, B, C, D, E, in a wave 4. Why not? Why not? You got your wave 1, wave 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Triangle in your wave 4. This is, you're not bullish enough, guys. You're not bullish enough. You're not bullish enough, right? As they say. So, yeah, I mean, the triangle here is very much a possibility. You're still inside of the value area low zone. A triangle pattern is kind of almost completed, if it's not, right? The point of control is coming down to the 7/8 Fibonacci, almost the 0.88. So, I mean, yeah, a little bit of volatility down here as a fake out, which is very, very common in a triangle. An E wave, you know, the fake breakdown of the support is a good option. Anybody wants to take, you know, the risk if it were to move down. Not the best day to do it eventually with the Funk press conference later on, but anybody wants to take the shot of the triangle, there is a possible triangle scenario here. We just swept the local lows on Ethereum. right there. Local SFP, I mean, that would have been your epic entry. That would have been your epic sniper entry on that SFP just in the last 30 minutes. Like, boom, sniper long, swept the low, stop loss at the low. You need to be fast, guys. This is like only for the wild, wild west cowboys. You know, they have their gun ready. Bang, right? Stop loss at the low. Boom, I'm in. You know, I can be defensive with my stop loss. Then you got the chilled traders that, you know, they don't have that rush and say, you know what, I'm going to just trade. I'm going to put, you know, $1,000 here. I'm going to put stop loss at the low, and, you know, I'm going to target all-time high. I'm going to believe that this triangle is going to be the pattern. I'm going to believe that this is the wave 4 in this triangle, and it's going to get ready to pop out. And I don't care, right? It's a 3-to-1 risk to reward. You know, I just don't want to be rushed with these sniper trades. I still like the ABC movement, guys. I'm not going to lie. This is why I'm in the short, right? Well, if you think that this triangle is going to break out, why are you still in that Ethereum short position? Why are you still in that short? Explain. Explain it. I think I'm going to give it a chance. I'm going to give the ABC scenario a chance. I'm going to give that ABC scenario a chance here. This, and this. And then we are looking for proof of support at this order block. We've got naked point of control in this region as well. And then this is the zone that we want to look for swing longs, because I believe that Ethereum's not finished here. It's not finished. We want to see a bit of proof of support eventually if it were to come down there. But this would be the zone of interest in a nutshell on the higher time frame, right? Keeping it a little bit simple here with the Picasso drawing legends. There we go. We're going to have the lad himself, the bad boy himself, coming out to create that press conference in the next few minutes, guys. It's happening. Not much volatility. I mean, I'm not sure. The FOMC economic projections already have come out, and we're not getting much volatility. What's going on, guys? What the heck's going on here? Where's the volatility? Bad boy, hi Tham, how are you doing? Much love. If you believe that Ethereum would pump, you would close your short, Andy. Very true. I mean, the thing is, look, this Ethereum position is, you know, a very small percentage at the moment. I did take over 60% of profits of this short from the failed breakout of all-time high, the rejection. Profits were taken. So I'm just going to give a chance because it's a good entry. Stop losses at break even. I'm going to give the bearish case a chance. Okay. Even though we are in bull market, but this was a very successful, you know, failed auction from all-time high, closed the 4-hourly candle, you know, got aggressive. And most of the profits have been taken here on this Ethereum short position. Okay. So, you know, I get stopped out at break even. I wouldn't care too much because I did, you know, this was a very, very successful trade a few weeks ago and I would give it a chance. But staying honest, we are bullish, guys. The market is in an uptrend. We are bullish. And it's in your best interest to speculate on longs. There's no doubt about it, right? Eventually, I don't want to long the highs. If I do attempt a position, it will be a short on the failed breakout of the highs. But you have a triangle pattern, and instead of trying to, you know, long the breakout, you know, if you get a better entry on the correction with a tighter stop loss at the lows, your projection is better, right? Just because we have that contracting diagonal here, right? And a possible ABC movement, I'm kind of liking this. You know, it would be epic to get an impulsive move throughout, you know, the FOMC press conference and get that movement down. Oh, we have him. He's coming out, guys. He's coming out. Shall we listen to him?
My colleagues and I remain squarely focused on achieving our dual mandate goals of maximum employment and stable prices for the benefit of the American people. While the unemployment rate remains low, it has edged up. Job gains have slowed, and downside risks to employment have risen. At the same time, inflation has risen recently and remains somewhat elevated. In support of our goals, and in light of the shift in the balance of risks, today the Federal Open Market Committee decided to lower our policy interest rate by 1/4 percentage point. We also decided to continue to reduce our securities holdings. I'll have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments. Recent indicators suggest that growth of economic activity has moderated.
Yeah, guys, we ain't doing this. We ain't doing this, right? We ain't doing it. We ain't gonna. It's gonna be the same story. The same story. It's gonna be interesting. I might crash another stream here. There's gonna be some other people streaming this, guys. So I might. He's coming to talk. The man is here. There's a more. Yeah, come on, guys. Let's be nice. The man is here. Andy, fast forward. Yeah, we're probably not going to take a look at that. His ears are hawkish. Yeah. Shall we listen to the man himself? Shall we listen to the man?
Edged up to 4.3% in August, but remains little changed over the past year at a relatively low level. Payroll job gains have slowed significantly to a pace of just 29,000 per month over the past 3 months. A good part of the slowing likely reflects a decline in the growth of the labor force due to lower immigration and lower labor force participation. Even so, labor demand has softened, and the recent...
We ain't doing it, guys. We ain't doing it. I can't take it. I can't take it, guys. It's too boring. The price is not doing much, guys. I think the plan is relatively simple. Okay. Wow. The most important day. And we got a little bit of local volatility on the S&P. Nothing too major, guys. I mean, maybe throughout the Fed press conference, you can watch it, guys. It's everywhere. Okay. You can find this easily online. But I think the plan here is quite simple. I actually prefer the longer corrective structure. I do prefer this scenario more. If we break down and we overlap these pivot highs, guys, for me, there's going to be a good chance that either we claim this low or we form a larger correction, sideways momentum. But if we do claim 112.5K, it's going to be game on for the larger corrective structure, guys, in the next coming weeks. Okay. If we claim these lower highs, multiple 1-2 does not look highly likely. Your second one is larger than your first one. I will be definitely giving priority for this to be a zigzag, and that the corrective structure has the risk eventually for the bulls to get below 107K. And other scenario would be this forming a zigzag up, you zigzag down, and then you form another zigzag up. I mean, well, you should not claim 110.7, because if you do claim, let's just say that we form a zigzag here and you form a zigzag and move down. The moment you get below 110.7, you're going to cross the golden pocket, and crossing the golden pocket lowers the probability for a sharp, okay, WXY. So I mean, this would be your wave W, this would be your wave X. So I mean, this is like the sweet spot. If you get below 110.7K, the probabilities of taking out 107K are extremely high. So I would not expect this bounce here. I would expect a reaction, but not this rally. Okay. Anyway, we've got a few scenarios. My preferred scenario is the bearish one, guys, I have to say. Let's see. For local trading setups, we need to get out of this range. Claim the highs or claim the lows. I've explained this in the first 30 minutes of the stream. Interesting rejection point, interesting bouncing point. If you do not reclaim weekly naked point of control, you don't want to have any funny business down here unless you're getting into a sniper at the 50% Fibonacci from this pivot low to the pivot high for that flat, okay? If you want to sniper that level, you need to react. You cannot hit the golden pocket. The moment you hit golden pocket from this pivot low, this is losing momentum. That's the moment that you realize that the momentum of the uptrend has been lost, and it will be in your best interest to look for shorts to claim this low on the bounces. The bounces need to be corrective. So yeah, let's see, guys. The bulls need to maintain above that level. If you do claim the low and you claim the high later on, then yes, we can count a 5-wave move. If you do not overlap this pivot, this will be looking bullish. Eventually, we are expecting a correction, could be sharp, because if this is a wave 1, a wave 2 usually gets down to 50% golden pocket most often. So you would expect a pretty sharp pullback, even if you hit 118, 119 for the bullish case scenario, right? We're expecting a pullback regardless. It's either the WXY or you claim the highs one more time and you get a pullback. So this is what we're looking at here on the higher time frame. Lower time frame, we've got some sniper levels. If you get the reaction short or long, stay safe with your trading, guys. Remember, you got some insane bonuses on bluffing all weeks, okay? You got some great perks. You do get access to the Legends VIP, okay? The VIP channel where I'm sharing my trades, just sharing my journey, guys, what I'm doing. And yeah, you get those perks with the links down below. You got bluffing or weeks, guys. They're the most favorite ones, okay, from the people to get those perks. Thank you very much for joining today. Nothing much happening, guys. What can we say? It was a bit of a disappointment. Much love to everybody here in the comment section. Thank you for smashing up the like button. We didn't get to 500 likes. We'll get there one day, guys. Not today. We're cooked. Wolf, Staffer 1, much love to you, brother. Moderator, here he is. Fast forward. We're not doing this, guys. We're not doing it. I'm not that kind of channel. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'll be crashing some other channels right now. And much love to everyone. Have a great night. Thank you for joining.